So, good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Welcome to another Friday morning live. I know that many of us are dealing with the remnants of Hurricane Helene, now Tropical Storm Helene. It did hit us here in the Atlanta area, and I received a notification when I woke up this morning that the death toll as a result of this storm is up to 4. So I'm definitely praying for the souls who lost their lives as a result of the storm, and praying for their families during this difficult time, and just hoping that everybody will stay safe and use common sense judgment and listen to the authorities who, give us advice during these times on how to keep ourselves safe. So please do everything you can to keep yourself safe. If I'm looking a little tired, and first of all, I know last week one of the things, well, let me back up. For the past 3 weeks, our Friday morning lives have been about characteristics of a bad employee, and I've been asking all of us to do an assessment to see if any of us exhibit any of these characteristics of a bad employee. And one of them that I called myself out on last week was being late. And I promised that I wouldn't be late again to the not only to work, but also for my Friday morning lives. But please excuse me for today. As you can imagine, if I'm looking a little tired, it is because I am tired. Um, I'm sure I got a little bit more sleep than my husband has because he's been down in the basement. He and our son shoveling, draining water with the wet dry vac because for some reason every now and then when it rains, and especially when it's a prolonged period of raining that really saturates the ground, like this rain has been going on off and on for the past 2 days. We get water into the basement, and it's particularly aggravating because our basement is fully finished. And thank goodness, except for I think once, it has been contained to mostly one room, which happens to be supposedly the storage room, but we use it as an extra small bedroom when we have family to come for the holidays or whatever. Put a little twin bed in there or whatever, and a child can sleep in there if they like. But um, we're going to have some drywall. We're going to have to take some drywall down, and to avoid having mold form. So it's impacted that small room as well as the hallway right outside the room. So just keep us in your thoughts. We're dealing with that, but at the same time, as frustrating as that is, we're blessed. So I'm not complaining. Um, that's why we have insurance and other preparations, homeowners warranty, and things like that, because they they happen, and at least we're all safe. We have our lives and our health, and so I'm definitely not complaining. But if I'm looking a little tired this morning, or if my thought process seems to be a little foggy, is because I'm operating on probably about 3 hours of sleep. And so I do apologize for that, but I think all of you can understand. So let's get into today's live, which is the final episode of characteristics of a bad employee. And let me kind of adjust my screen just a little bit. So I've enjoyed this segment because even though can be serious and can cause us issues at work if we exhibit any of these characteristics. None of them are past our ability to correct them. And because we're all capable of controlling our behavior. And if we take these characteristics seriously and do an honest assessment of ourselves and find that we're exhibiting any of them, then I want you to just stick with me on this channel. You know, I'm all about positivity and prayer because I am a child of God. And I know that all things are possible through Christ who strengthens me, and He will strengthen you too if you ask Him to. So don't think that all is lost. Even if you lose your job because you've been exhibiting some of these characteristics or similar type of behavior, you can make the necessary adjustments to your behavior and your demeanor and how you conduct yourself, and God will bless you with another job, and you can enjoy sweet success during that opportunity. So just continue to be hopeful, be positive, keep the faith, and follow me. I'll continue to give you the best possible advice that I can on how to have your career success. So let's get started with today's session, our last session. And as you know, I have my notes over on my other screen, so I'll be looking off to the side periodically. And today's installment of characteristics of a bad employee fall under the broad umbrella of building a successful career. So, and you'll see why as we go through these final, let's see, three, four, these final five characteristics of a bad employee. So the first one is if you produce a poor quality of work. And listen, none of us have an excuse for a valid excuse, I would say, for producing a poor quality of work. We have too many tools and resources available to us these days to produce a poor quality of work, unless we have not been honest on our resume and landed our job under false pretenses and knew all along that we didn't have the knowledge, skills, and abilities that were needed to be successful on that job. But I'm going to assume, and I know what they say about assuming, but I'm going to presume that you have the knowledge, skills, and abilities to be successful on your job, and that the reason why you're producing a poor quality of work is because you're not taking your job as seriously as you should. And for those of you who are familiar with God's word, I'm sorry, our allergies are still acting up. You know that we are told that we should work as if we are working unto God, not unto man. So please understand that when you get mad at your job and decide not to do your work as you should, you're blocking your blessings. You are blocking your blessings, because if you continue to carry yourself in the correct manner and continue to produce a high quality of work, then you never know. God could move that person who is making things difficult for you or has caused you pain or stress on the job. God could move them out of the way. It could be as something as simple as they could get a transfer, they themselves could get a new job, or they could be promoted. You just never know. But your job as the employee is to do the best possible job that you can, so that this person who is maybe causing you stress in the workplace, basically what you're going to be doing is your performance is going to show up for you and it's going to make them look crazy if they complain about you to anyone. So just don't let them have that opportunity to complain, especially if you know that you have the knowledge, skills, and ability to be able to do a good job. You may have to, on your time off, you may have to do some additional studying or research or what have you. These days we have Chat GPT, Google Gemini, and all of these other chat platforms that can make quick work of you being able to resolve a workplace issue or get the foundation that you can start with so that you're not starting from scratch to resolve a workplace issue or produce high quality work. So, when we look at poor quality of work, one is not setting high standards, and that's a problem. You should always set high standards for yourself because you are unique and you have special or unique skills, knowledge, and abilities. And so there's no reason that you should not set high standards for yourself because we should all we should all strive to challenge ourselves to keep our brains sharp, to remain well informed about trends and happenings in our area of expertise, and to be a resource to those who we serve. Because, yes, that's why we're here. We serve each other. And so that's what we should be doing and have an attitude of service. And that's how we should be looking at our jobs as we are servants on that job, serving those who seek and need our expertise, our skills that we possess. Excuse me. And so strive to produce a high quality of work that meets or exceeds expectations. It will not go unnoticed. Sometimes it may seem like it's going unnoticed, but I can guarantee you that it won't. Let me see. Uh-oh. I'm so sorry about that. Just needed to adjust my headphones. Then seek feedback because we are not on an island by ourselves, and so we should always seek feedback. Um, Ask for feedback on your work and use it to improve. Don't take it personally if the person says, "Well, you could have done better on that project, or maybe in this area you could have done better, or we need improvement here or there." Step back, consider the feedback that you receive from your manager, colleagues, or customers, and implement those changes. And like magic, you will see that not only will they notice that you are putting forth the effort, but you'll also feel happier, more fulfilled at your job as well, because you'll know that you're doing what it takes to be successful on the job, and you're doing your job to the best of your ability. Then pay attention to detail, and you'll notice that in most job descriptions, especially individual contributor type descriptions. And when I refer to individual contributors, I mean employees who are not people managers, who don't manage a team or another employee. You will find that if it's customer service, if it's data analysis, if it's report writing, if it's policy administration, if it's counseling, any of those things. Typically, somewhere in that job description or vacancy announcement is going to require strong attention to detail. Because what does strong attention to detail do? Strong attention to detail helps us to minimize the number of errors in our work. Just that simple. Um, so be meticulous and pay attention to detail in your work. Then next, take pride in your work. And as I alluded to earlier, when you start making the necessary changes that you need to make in the way that you do your work, then you're going to feel more fulfilled and satisfied and happy um, in the work that you do. And you are going to be proud of the work that you do because you will know that you are doing the best work that you can do. It's going to show because your customers, those whom you serve, are going to show their appreciation for the quality of work that you produce. And you're going to know it just right in here, inside, in your heart, and up here in your brain, that you are doing a great job. So even if nobody um, else tells you that you're doing a great job, you'll know for yourself before anyone else will. But it will feel good when others acknowledge that as well. And I'll tell you that I have a team member who has always been an awesome employee, even before I became her manager. And during last year's performance evaluation, she was, knocking it out of the park with her performance in many ways, but there were like one or two areas that I knew that she could come up in. And so, I just very thoughtfully and professionally shared with her some ways that I thought that she could improve in one or two areas, and I recommended some resources to help her do that. Let me tell you, she dove in. She even took other courses and attended other um, training sessions related to those areas that I thought that she could do even better in. And there was her performance evaluation this year for 2024. I mean, there was there, nothing there to basically say other than keep up the good work. I see the changes, and so I made a recommendation regarding her compensation because she is like one of the go-to people on the team. So she's an excellent resource to not only her colleagues but also to me and my immediate manager. She always has an awesome positive attitude, a ball of high energy, and just a wonderful person to work with. And she does research like nobody's business. She'll dig into something and try and find a resolution. And the other thing that she does is when she does find problems, she might let us know that the problem exists, but she will let us know that she's also looking into a possible resolution, and she'll let us know if that resolution worked. And if it didn't, she might have another resolution, and then she may ask, do we have any recommendations? But she is just absolutely, absolutely, I can't say it enough, absolutely awesome. So I can tell you that she would not fall into this first category of a bad employee, which is a poor quality of work, because she needs to hold a class on how much she can get done in a short period of time in her system. She has a system that works for her. She sticks by it, and it is very seldom that she misses a deadline or what have you, or is at least able to provide a review of something and to ask additional follow-up questions to help her get to the finish line. I can't say enough about her. So, moving to today's second um, quality of a bad employee is the inability to learn and grow. And, here they're being very politically correct. Inability, I question that. Is usually reluctance or refusal to learn and grow because we are creatures of habit. We don't like change usually, but the difference between someone who is successful with change or during a change, um, and someone who is not is the person who, even if they're initially reluctant to the change, they're open minded enough to know that they need to be willing to at least kind of dip their toes in the water and see what the change is about before they totally shut down. And so I would say it's not necessarily in many cases the inability to learn and grow, but a refusal or a reluctance to even try to learn and grow. So number one says not embracing learning. And see, that's not an inability. That is a refusal or a reluctance. So view learning as an ongoing process and be open to new ideas and experiences. I It just really makes me wonder when I hear some people who may have, who went to school, like someone like me who has completed my MBA, or what have you. I still don't know. There are so many things that I still need to learn. Plus, I completed my MBA in 2005. Guess what? That's 20 years ago, basically 19 years ago, July of 2005. So, guess what? Even though a lot of that information is still relevant, there's so much that has been added to that would be taught differently to today's MBA students. So I'm always in a continuous process of learning because I enjoy learning new things. I enjoy being able to help others learn new things, and I especially enjoy being. I'm sorry, y'all. If you would not believe it, there is a spider um, on my desk, and I am crazy afraid of spiders. So I apologize for that, but there's not enough room for me and a little black spider crawling across my desk. And it seems like in this house we have a particular problem with spiders. So I do apologize for that, but y'all would rather me kill that spider than to see how I will act and it's one of those little jumping spiders. So yeah, that gives me the heebie-jeebies. So the next thing is to seek out training, or failure to seek out training. And I encourage you to take advantage of training and development opportunities. A lot of jobs will allow you to attend at least one conference or training session during each fiscal or calendar year. Make sure that you actively participate in that. One thing that I ask my team to do before I do their performance evaluations is I ask them to provide a wish list of their training, training that they would like to attend. And then that way, when I do their performance evaluations, there's a section on proposed training or the employees, wishes for career growth or what have you. And I can enter that in their on their performance evaluation. Man, that spider just made me feel just kind of threw me off because I'm not 100% sure that he is dead. I may have injured him, but I sure hope that I don't hear him. I mean, I don't feel him like crawling across my foot or something while I'm sitting here because I have on flip flops. But anyway, make sure that you take advantage of training and development opportunities. And the wonderful thing with this age of technology that we have, that we're living in right now, is there are so many no cost and low cost webinars that you can do on your own, or even if you are a member of Udemy or Coursera or Teachable, then sometimes you're gonna be able to find no cost and low cost webinars and training sessions that you can take advantage of, that can either be in your current area of expertise, or they could be related to an area of specialty that you're interested in transitioning to. So always seek out opportunities to learn and grow. Read and research. Remember, I told you just a minute ago that my employee, who is just a stellar member of the team, that she researches, she delves deeply into things, and as needed, related to challenges that we are facing. And so she reads and she researches to stay on industry trends and development. And I hope that my sound has not been the other thing that we've been dealing with this storm is our our internet going in and out. And that was another reason why I was a little late, because when I initially logged on, we had no internet. And so but thank God it came back on, and I'm hoping that the sound quality of this video is good. If it's not, I will do it over later today and repost it. So next we're going to look at failure to network with others. Now, truth be told, I don't like networking. Although I am most of the time, I'm an extrovert, I have that introvert in me. And when it comes to networking, I'm not always the best at it, but I found ways to get around that hesitance or that nervousness or fear. And I take full advantage of online groups and communities. And I may not go to a lot of attend or participate in a lot of in person networking events. But let me tell you, I will thoroughly take advantage of virtual networking events and meetings. And then what I found is that while I'm enjoying the virtual networking meetings and events, and I start to get more accustomed to the people in the group, and learn more about them and share more about me. When the next opportunity comes up for an in-person event, I try to attend, because I've developed a comfort level with that particular group, and it makes me feel more at ease when I go for an in-person event. So try to maybe approach it that way, if you're like me, where you're an extrovert, but you have a little bit of an introvert inside of you, or if you're an introvert and you're 100% introvert, maybe that's the way to kind of ease yourself into it, because career success does include or often require your ability to network. And you don't have to go to every event, and you don't have to be a member of every XYZ group. Pick one or two that make you feel comfortable. Also, if you pick a virtual one and you're not feeling the vibe that you're getting from that particular group, feel free to stop attending, to not be a part of that, and to find you another online community or group that you feel more comfortable engaging with. So make sure that you build those relationships with colleagues and in your industry professionals. And another way that you can do that is by with some of these online groups or forums, just answering questions. So even if you're an introvert, but you're highly knowledgeable in your area of expertise, help someone coming up behind you, after you, to develop by answering questions that they have related to your field of specialty. So, the third area characteristic for today is having a lack of motivation. And I think we've all been there on certain jobs. But first of all, the um, first recommendation is to find your passion. So try and find something interesting and fulfilling about your works. Why did you get into that particular area, or profession to begin with? Think about what attracted you to it, and really dig into that and lean into that, and try to do more if you have some control over the duties and responsibilities that you perform. Um, Try to seek out more aspects that relate to the passion that you have for your area of expertise, and try to do more of those types of tasks. Then set goals. Set clear and achievable goals for yourself so that you don't lose your motivation, because that's also something that happens to a lot of people too. We overload ourselves. We don't plan well, and we overload ourselves with things to do, but we don't have clear goals. We're just so busy trying to get the work done that we end up, doing things that are not the best for our development, what have you. And that's important. Then celebrate your successes, and especially those small wins. Um, Celebrate your accomplishments, no matter how small they are, because guess what? A win is a win. And anytime you're making progress, that is a big deal. So make sure that you celebrate your wins, no matter how small you think that they are. Because remember, many small wins end up being a big win. So look at it like that, as incremental progression means that you're getting better and better. Then find a mentor. And this is so important. A lot of people think that they don't need a mentor, but most of us do. And I would challenge you that you would enjoy more career success if you do have a mentor. Be very careful and selective about who you ask to be a mentor, because you want that person to have the right attitude towards the work and passion about the work, where they are able to share that with you, and help you to um, find your passion again about the work, and they hopefully are equipped as your mentor to help you to really grow in your area of specialty. So yes, please take advantage of having a mentor. And your mentor does not always have to have a whole lot more experience than you, maybe even a year more of experience if they've been, maybe if they've achieved a higher level of success in in your area of expertise. They're right where they need to be, likely to be able to still relate to where you are in your at this season in your career, but then they've achieved just enough more that they can help you to take baby steps to progress into a higher level of career success. So, number 4 is anyone who is disregarding company policies. And I should not have to say this, but if you're not following the company policies, you likely should not be there, because you're disrespecting the rules and regulations of conduct and everything else about work that your employer has established to try and help everyone be a success, including you. And what you're doing is you're not being setting a good example for everyone else, for those around you. And that means that you're likely not going to um, become management, be offered a management position or any type of career growth, because if you're not adhering to and respecting the company's policies, you're not management material. But you can turn that around, and this is how you can do that by reading and understanding the company policies. Don't just go and work for an employer blindly and not take the time to review the employee handbook and the standard operating procedures and or what have you. Familiarize yourself with them, and you don't have to do it all in one day. Most companies' handbooks are virtual, electronic these days. It's not like when I initially started my career, we physically received a physical book. And until probably about 8 to 10 years ago, it was still that way. But now, typically, employers have their employee handbook on their intranet, or even if it's a public sector agency like the one that I work for, then it's going to be out there for anyone, citizens, to log in and see it. Make sure you follow the rules and adhere to the company policies and regulations. And that's why it's so important for you to familiarize yourself with the rules of the work environment that you're working in. Because while some company policies are common sense, some others are directly related to the field of expertise that you're working in. So they may not always be readily understandable or what have you. So keep that in mind as well. That's another reason why you need to familiarize yourself so that you know what is considered acceptable behavior or performance and what is not. Then ask questions. That's why you have a manager. That's why you have colleagues. That's why you have leadership. Ask questions and don't be afraid to ask your questions. Just make sure you ask them in a respectful manner. Don't put people on the defense by coming across to them as being accusatory or hostile, but just ask them. Tell them you're trying um, to get a better understanding of some things, policies and requirements related to the work environment, and ask them for guidance in the areas that you're not quite sure about. Then take responsibility. If you violate a company policy, take responsibility for your actions and learn from your mistake. Just rubbing my leg, y'all. It felt like something was crawling on my leg. So I still have that spider in the back of my mind. So please forgive me. But yes, take responsibility. That is one of the most important things to build in credibility in your career and in the workplace, is when those around you see that you take responsibility for your actions and that you learn from your mistakes. And what you want to do is, when you take responsibility, like my employee that I was speaking of earlier, she takes responsibility for her actions. She is humble enough that she will ask, what what would you like for me to do differently? This is what I think. One thing that I think I can do differently, or two things that I think I can do differently. How would you like for me to do things differently? And that has earned her so much respect, and hopefully she'll be rewarded, soon, for being that type of employee, because you will lose respect quickly amongst your peers, especially, and amongst with management. If you make a mistake, make mistakes, and the first thing that comes out of your mouth was, "Well, it wasn't my fault." Well, it may not have been your fault, but the way that you handle it is. But if you make a mistake, even if it's not your fault, you're still the one who made the mistake. If someone else's actions contributed to it, the way that you can address that is you can say, yes, I made XYZ mistake. I reviewed the process and I wasn't aware based on my training that this was how I was supposed to do this. So going forward, I'm going to perform this duty in this way because I think that that will um, keep me from making future mistakes. And then you can ask your manager, do you think that there are any other steps that I need to take to avoid making this mistake again? And you will find that people will be readily, they will be so pleased that you have such a great attitude about um, fixing the deficiencies where you made the mistake and that you've taken responsibility, that they will happily help you identify areas where you can make improvements or steps that you can take to avoid making that mistake again. So we are at number 5 for today, and that makes a total of 20 characteristics of bad employees. So our fifth and final one for today to round out our overall 20 over the past 4 weeks is someone who creates or contributes to a toxic work environment. And let me tell you very quickly, that is a no. And if you find yourself being a person who is contributing to or creating a toxic work environment, you need to clean your act up very quickly, or just go ahead and turn in your resignation and leave. Because if you don't plan to do better, then why are you still on the job? And as I don't know who originated this quote, but I'm gonna use it. When we know better, we do better. So definitely, you're watching this video, and I've been going through the past 4 weeks, going over these characteristics of bad employees with you, and so you no longer have an excuse to not do better. So after today, the toxic work environment thing, and all of the other characteristics of a negative employee, you have the resources you need to make a change. And most of those resources are within you, within you personally. So take heed and listen very carefully. Be positive and try to focus on the positive aspects of your work and relationships. Nobody wants to be around a complainer all the time. Somebody who, from the start of every work shift or work day, has nothing positive to say. And this is what I want to tell you, what really, really gets me is when I go to fast food places or other service type um, organizations where I am the customer, and all I hear is either the person who is serving me is complaining to me about their job, or they're complaining to coworkers in front of the customer. To me, that is the worst form of customer service, because you're not providing customer service. You're not considering that this is one of the people who helps to keep you employed. This customer is, because they're paying for the goods or services that you are passing along to them. And you never know what that person could do to help to bolster your career. For instance, I work in human resources. Managers at my organization are often looking for new employees, new team members to fill brand new positions that have been created, or even positions where people have promoted or they've resigned and gone on to their next opportunity. And I could be your customer, and you could have such an awesome attitude and demeanor towards me as the customer that you just never know. I could help you possibly land your next job that might be even better than the one that you're currently at. So just be aware and be self-aware when you are operating outside of positivity, when you're operating in negativity, then you're bringing yourself down and you're bringing everyone else down around you, and people are not going to want to work with you. And if they do, if you're being negative, then that means that they're negative as well, more than likely. And misery does love company. But try not to be the misery. Try to be the positive influence in the work environment. Avoid negativity. Well, I don't know how much more needs to be said about that. And avoid speaking negativity or gossip. Um, be supportive. Be supportive of your colleagues and help them succeed. And it could be that someone could be experiencing a life event, like right now. We're in the middle of this storm that's now a tropical storm. Started out as a hurricane. You will likely have someone around you who has either their home has been damaged or their car has been damaged or their family members, loved ones have been impacted in some way. Be compassionate. And you may have experienced some of that yourself, but guess what? When we take the focus off of our own situation and we focus on helping others, that will help you go a long way to getting out of that mindset of negativity and behavior of negativity. Because when we help others, it typically gives us fulfillment. And sometimes people just they may not need money, sometimes they do, but many times people just need a listening ear, a caring listening ear, or a shoulder that they can lean on so that they know that someone cares about the um, what they're facing, the situation, the challenges that they're facing. So be that resource. Then seek help if needed. If you're feeling stressed or overwhelmed, seek help through your employer's employee assistance program, or go online and maybe download like the Calm app, or what is it, Headspace, or some of the other calming apps to help you to rise out of feelings of negativity and stress, and hopefully you're not feeling in despair. But also know that if you are feeling such negative emotions that are so strong that you feel that you might want to do harm to yourself or someone else, please dial 81. I'm sorry, it's not 811. I'm gonna look it up and give you um, the the number for mental health support. So you can actually dial the mental health crisis line. And I know that the one here in Georgia is 800-715-4225. And I'm going to see if I can find the one for the national assistance. Let's see. And I apologize. Um, 988 is the number. It's the national toll-free number for mental health crisis and suicide prevention. Because listen, everyone, we all have oh, such value that we bring to this world. And this world is a better place for us being in it. But sometimes we can lose sight of that based on the challenges, as a result of the challenges that we may be facing, and we start to question that. And if you start to question that and you think that you're moving in a direction of possibly wanting to hurt yourself or others, please don't wait. Don't wait. Seek help by dialing the national toll-free number for mental health crisis and suicide prevention, which is 988. And it says here that this number connects callers to the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, a network of crisis contact centers that are funded by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. And these resources are available 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. And I'm going to provide this information in the description of the replay of this live when it becomes goes live as a video, and so that you can readily take advantage of it if you need that help. So there you go, everyone, everybody. We finished our fourth and final session on characteristics of a bad employee. We've done our self-assessment. We're starting to make changes where we need to make the changes. I hope that you found value in this session. We're going in this series of sessions. I know that I have. I've even found value, and I'm the person presenting the information to you. So know that I'm continuing my mission of helping you to live your best career life. And so if you found value, I would love it if you would click on the thumbs up or like button. That will let YouTube know if you're watching this on YouTube. Then that will let YouTube know that you found value and that someone else may find value in it, and that they need to push it out to more people, so it'll help me to serve more people. And if you know someone personally who is on their journey to living their best career life as well, please share it with them. And I would absolutely love for you to decide to subscribe to my channel, because I plan to bring you value like this every week. In addition to my lives, I also do a weekly recorded video as well on another topic related to career success. Also, if you want to work with me more closely, look in the description under the video, and you'll find ways that you can reach out to me, and so that we can work more closely together, maybe during a one-on-one job search strategy session, or a one-on-one workplace resolution session. And then I also have my training and my coaching program. So I have a lot of resources, some free, some some are paid services. But I am so looking forward to continuing to help you along your journey to living your best career life. And there'll also be a link to my blog and a link to my shop at Nnamtique, which is my motivational merchandise shop. So if you're looking for some merch to help keep your spirits lifted, then that's where you can check it out. And then also my spiritual YouTube channel, which consists of videos on related to scripture, based on scripture, that motivate you and help you to get closer to God and understand how He is there to help you to be successful in life. So, like I said, hopefully you're finding value and will continue to find value. And I will continue to come every week to provide you with new resources and information to help you along the way. So until next time, stay safe, and I look forward to seeing you again.